Hello and welcome to our monthly summary of the main debates and decisions of the European Parliament's plenary session in Strasbourg. The conflict in Gaza and the row between Russia and Ukraine over gas supply were subjects of urgent debate. The EPP-ED group played a leading role in resolutions to help ease tensions on both issues.
The European Parliament adopted a resolution on Gaza in line with the EPP-ED group's position. José Ignacio Salafranca explained.
Instead of trying to find out who is to blame, the most important thing is now to focus on the achievement of an immediate ceasefire, as stipulated in UN Resolution 1860, and as the Secretary-General has said, is compulsory for both parties. Mr. President, it is urgent to tackle the terrible humanitarian and economic crisis in Gaza.
The European Union must focus on what will bring peace, despite existing differences of opinion on the origin of the conflict.
Wir haben eine Hamas, die gegen eine Zwei-Staaten-Lösung ist, die das Existenzrecht des Staates Israel ablehnt.
German MEP Elmar Brok, author of the resolution, said that it was a waste of time discussing the concept of proportionality regarding the Israeli response to Hamas rockets. Instead, it's better to work on controlling the border to stop weapons getting through. Israel's government should also be pressured to work with moderate Palestinian politicians like Mahmoud Abu Abbas.
As soon as Russia turned off the gas to Ukraine a week ago, Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Saryusz-Wolski, called an extraordinary meeting of his committee, inviting representatives from Ukraine, Russia and the Commission to tackle the issue. Speaking in plenary, Mr. Saryusz-Wolski underlined the importance of a real common energy policy.
However, this is not enough if we are to avoid similar situations in the future. Impossible unless we equip ourselves with a truly common EU energy security policy and solidarity, which would offer lasting, sustainable and systemic solutions. It means combined weight of member states represented by the European Commission in negotiations and single EU voice vis-à-vis our partners, be it producers or transit countries. Meanwhile, we could envisage to buy gas directly from Russia at the Russian-Ukrainian border.
The Czech Presidency of the European Union has so far not been luckier than the previous French one. It has had to deal with two major crises, the Middle East and Europe's gas supply. Prime Minister Topolanek hadn't even the time to present his priorities to MEPs until this week in Strasbourg.
The debate, in which Commission President José Manuel Barroso and the leaders of the political groups took part, inevitably focused on all these issues. The Czech Prime Minister laid down the major lines of his country's action during its presidency, insisting on immediately tackling the most urgent issues, while developing the policies initiated by France in the fields of energy supply, immigration and foreign policy.
Předstupuji před vás poprvé v roli předsedy Evropské rady.
Mr. Topolanek emphasised the importance of carrying on the work of France during its presidency of the Union, and emphasised coming forward with concrete proposals, particularly in the area of the economy. With the international financial crisis snowballing and an economic slowdown looming, it is clear, he said, that the Union has to speak with one voice to prepare for the forthcoming economic summit in London. The chairman of the EPP-ED group, Joseph Daul, applauded the efforts of the Czech government to deal efficiently with both the gas and the Gaza crises and asked for stronger commitment in the Middle East.
Ce qu'il faut à l'Europe, c'est une volonté politique forte.
What we need now in Europe is clear, strong political will, availing of sufficient human, military and financial resources to be a credible player in the world. Why does the world focus its eyes on Barack Obama? Because Europe is not yet capable of realising its vision, its ideals, its know-how.
Mr. Barroso sent a clear and unambiguous message to Moscow and Kiev.
If the agreement sponsored by the European Union is not honoured as a matter of urgency, the Commission will advise European companies to take this matter to the courts and call on Member States to engage in a concerted action to find alternative ways of energy supply and transit. So we will see very soon whether there is a technical hitch or whether there is no political intention to honour the agreement. And if I can just spell this out. If the agreement is not honoured, it means that Russia and Ukraine can no longer be considered reliable partners for the European Union in matters of energy supply.
Busy months lie ahead for the Czech government and the European institutions. In an election period, it is important to deal with issues effectively.
The use of chemicals for plant protection in the EU will be restricted in the future. This week, the European Parliament adopted a package on the registration and use of pesticides. Parliament had reached an agreement with EU governments earlier in December on the two dossiers.
The new provisions are a major step forward. EPP-ED member Christa Klaas, European Parliament rapporteur on the directive on the use of pesticides, explains why.
For the first time, the use of pesticides is going to be harmonised at European level. Our guideline is as much as required, as little as possible. This is based on our comprehensive knowledge of the effects of plant protection products. After all, such products serve as medicine for plants. They need to be applied in an appropriate manner to have the desired effects. The right means in the right dosage at the right time. It is also important to weigh up whether there is an actual need for chemical plant protection or whether mechanical measures are the right solution.
Parliament has successfully fought for provisions to guarantee appropriate qualification and training for users of pesticides. The training is to come from a neutral source and not from industry. Also, retail sailors in do-it-yourself stores and gardening centres will have to provide usage information for all customers. The most harmful substances, causing cancer, changing the human DNA, and those toxic to human reproduction, will be ruled out altogether. Hennicot-Schoepges, who is the EPP-ED group spokesperson on the regulation on the registration of pesticides, tells us its main aim.
This helps reduce illnesses significantly. From the various forms of cancer, where the relation to pesticides is already proven scientifically, to the degenerative illnesses, where the effects have also been proven.
The effects of Parliament's decision are more safety for consumers, users and the environment. The new standards will come into force by spring 2011.
For more information on our session report, log on to our website, epp-ed.eu. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.